All right, all right. I should be live and direct. Give me a minute, guys. Give me a minute. Looking over everything to see if I'm streaming right. All right, let me go to my favorite. Well, at least today, man, my sinuses aren't kicking my butt. Usually when I go live, man, I'm fighting. I'm fighting with sinuses. All right, so at least today my sinuses aren't kicking my butt. So what's up? What's up? This your man Orville J. Parker, aka Coach. Okay, guys, welcome, welcome, welcome to today's video. It seems like I should put the the overlay here, but I'm not going to do it right now. I got a SHTF ops overlay that I'm gonna start putting on the video so we can start tying everything together. And let me show you guys how I do that. I'm gonna go ahead and put it up here. Let me see what kind of font I'm going to use. We're going to go with white. All right. And we'll just stick with that kind of font for right now. Let's see. Let's do this one right now. Let's see how it's going to look. All right. So we're going to play with it some. Let's see. Because as you guys know, I usually throw an overlay like that over in the corner where that way we can start tying in everything. But we're not going to do it right now. We're not going to do it right now. I'm actually going to do a logo later on for that. All right, guys. So what's up, man? What's up? What's up? Let me fix my hat. Um, hopefully you guys are having a blessed and a prosperous day today. And welcome. Welcome to the show, guys. This is a show that I'm doing where we talk about, just freedom, and getting free from the system, but then also preparing, man, preparing to stay free and to survive in such a interesting world that we find ourselves in. So on this show, man, first of all, everything that I'm going to be talking about, we're not going to talk about any politics. We're not going to mix any religion. This is all about just basic preparations on how to survive, right? And that means then we're not talking about, even though we're going to get into and we'll talk about extreme things, we're just talking about every day surviving and thriving in today's world. When you look at our world, we live in a very interesting and a very complicated world when you look at it. We have a lot of things going on. We have major disruptions that are taking place, such as AI, and things are really just shifting and changing. But at the same time, we do live in a world where we have a lot of options and a lot of opportunity. That's one thing that I try to make sure that I keep at the forefront of my mind is that, for every pro, there's a con, for every yin, there's a yang. You guys understand how it goes. So it's not about being doom and gloom. It's not about saying, okay, this, but what I'm looking to do with this show is really try to bring some balance here. But I'm not even gonna lie, guys. The more I look into preparedness, the more I see how dangerous it is for us not to be prepared. I mean, it's crazy because when you think about it, we as a the general say like the population as a whole, we really don't have to worry about this on a day by day basis unless we live in areas where there is financial distress and things like that. But let's say, for instance, like in the United States or in the Western civilization, the United States and Canada, we pretty much don't have to deal with that. Even though we have our sectors of our society that are like homeless or living in poverty, but they still, well, the ones that are living in poverty still have access to the basic necessities of life. They have a roof over their head. It might not be the best roof, but they have a roof over their head. They have heat, they have water, and they have access to food. And the more I start looking at preparedness and just looking at, things, yeah, you start seeing just how dependent we are on everything staying the same, the normalness. If there's any disruption or abnormality inside of our processes of how we do things on a day by day basis, man, a lot of us are going to be hurt, you know. And one of the things that I really want to just focus on is really just we all need to get our houses in order. You know, we all need to start thinking self-reliance, even when it comes from the basis of how we make our money. You know, the majority of people depend on a 9 to 5 job to be able to pay their bills and generate income and things like that. And then the remainder are self-employed and things like that, and entrepreneurs. And me looking at it from a standpoint of just relating when I had a job and relating it to now that I'm free from a job, um, I believe if you can, you know, if you have it inside you, I believe your first line of defense on self-reliance is figuring out how to create and generate income on your own. All right, learning how to start some type of side hustle, some type of business, or taking money that you have, investing into starting some kind of business, and then going through the process of figuring that out. Because I believe if you do this, and the more you do this, then the more you put yourself in a position to be free out here. I think the first freedom and the first level of self reliance comes from being able to get up every day and to create our own income, to untether ourselves from the system and to get to a point to where we are in control of our financial reality. Now that's easier said than done. It's easier said than done, and depending on what business model you choose, then that's going to determine how fast you move through that. And let me kind of share with you guys what I'm talking about. So, one, I have a couple of businesses that I run from home, little hustles, right? Okay, one is one of my newest ventures, which is Avatar Pop Studios. And basically, I launched Avatar Pop Studios as a small digital agency that would focus on creating custom avatars for customers. Okay. And I was able to validate that by taking that out to the marketplace and getting paid on it and doing that over and over again. And at first, my whole approach was Pixar style animation, so more like cartoon animations. Then I started working with a more realistic form of the animation, and it was called semi-realism, where I can take and I could create a very good snapshot of you, but it'll still be cartoonish, but it would be very detailed. Okay. And then that led me down the road of starting to learn how to create what we call AI twins, which is cloning, you. And so that's where I've been focusing on more here at the end. And so much so that I've got it down pat now to where I like working with that more than I like working with the cartoon avatars. And it allows me as a content creator to get very creative on creating photos and pictures to go along with my content. And when I looked at it, I said, this makes sense for me, but it also makes sense for other content creators. All right. And so what I'm working on now is that and then this was the next level of that. When I started Avatar Pop Studios, I had some ideas of how I wanted to run with some things and how I was going to make some money with it. And it's just like anything else. Once you get inside of the process of doing the business, you start seeing things. At first, man, you're this, you're gonna conquer the world, all right. But then when you get in, you start seeing that certain parts of the world isn't conquerable at this moment, and you start trying to figure out, your way, what is what. And me personally, what I found out is something I knew already, that it's okay to make money providing a service. You can make good money doing it. A lot of people do. A lot of people run agencies and they freelancers and they do that. But me, I'm more of an entrepreneur, not a small business owner. And you might be saying, okay, Orville, what do you mean by that? What's the difference? Well, an entrepreneur enjoys starting businesses. An entrepreneur enjoys establishing businesses. But an entrepreneur does not enjoy running a typical business day by day. All right, they get bored. That's not what they do. And so, me knowing that, when I came to the internet after I left the job, I said, okay, I understood that. So, what I was going to do was, I was going to first of all remove all the barriers, all right, move all the guardrails and say, okay, well, I don't have to fit in the box with how I make my money. Okay, that was the first thing. The second thing that freed me was I said, okay, I'm an entrepreneur, not a small business owner. So I'm going to build out systems that are going to allow me to be able to go out there and test all the different cool ideas I have. All right. And probably about 80% of the things that I think about and test, I would never finish. All right. But I have the freedom of testing them. Right. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the few that make sense and I'm going to figure out how to turn those into automated businesses where I don't have to be involved with the business once it's up and done. And I've been able to do this in a couple of areas, and I'm gonna kind of talk to you guys. And some of these I'm not finished working on. So I purchased a resale license and a license to a platform called Go High Level that allowed for me to be able to start building out a marketing SaaS product that will allow me to be able to sell that product to small business owners and things like that. And I didn't have to build the product from the ground up. It was already built to a certain level. I was able to go in and white label the product. And then also, I have the ability of being able to build on top of the product. And that's what I did. And I originally was working on a brand called Creative Vibe AI. And I did that for a while. And then I switched from that. And now the actual software is being integrated into a couple of things that I'm doing. And each time I integrate the software, I have the ability of white labeling the software. So I can have one software suite that's tied into 4 different businesses, but in each business that it's tied into, it has a different name, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's what I'm doing with my software. All right. But now with Avatar Pop Studios, I am moving away from providing the service to where I have a school group, a community that I'm putting together, where I am going to lay out how anybody can do the type of avatars I was doing. They can make the Pixar style avatars and also the AI twins. But then I'm also building out a resource section there where the people that purchase the product will be able to constantly go back to that resource section and stay updated on what's new, what tools are new, and what strategies and methods are new. So they won't have to go out there and figure that out. That's what my company is going to do. And when I say company, guys, I ended up launching a small publishing company at the beginning of the year where we created a ton of courses and stuff like that. And now that publishing company, again, another business model, that publishing company, what I'm doing is I am creating niche based training and communities. So I'm going to kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. So right now, you guys been hearing me talk about SHTF Ops on my social media, and pretty much that's a new brand and new products that I'm putting under that brand that's around preparedness and self sufficient. That's what we talk about on this show. And so with that, my publishing company has went in and put together some training that shows beginners, because this was all created and developed for me. And then I turned around and told my AI that I wanted to turn that into a product. But this is research I had done, strategies and plans I was putting together to get me ready for things. And when I looked at it, I said, man, I can make this available to other people as an inexpensive product. So that way, as an entrepreneur, I make money off of it. I actually get compensated for doing the research, but then I give my customers access to the information, the resources for little or nothing. All right, $10 a month. It's crazy what I'm charging for that. But anyway, so SHTF Ops is a brand for my publishing company, and I've created a community. I have several trainings that we've created in house that's owned and controlled by us. But then we're also doing some curation inside the community where we're going out and we're finding some of the best videos around preparedness, self-reliance, and prepping. And then I'm using my software, my AI software, to transcribe the videos, to pull all of the core facts, features, and points out of it. And then on certain cases, we even go further. We take that information and then we create a training framework that we add to all that information to give you guys a really, really cool way of being able to interact with that content. So, so let's say, like, for example, I just did some research on water, okay? Water storage for SHTF situations. And I found a really, really good video by an expert in water. And he really broke down some things of what you need to think about when you think about storing water for long term and water for SHTF situations when stuff hit the fan, right? And so what I did was, if you go back there now, you're going to be able to access that video, but you're going to be able to access all that content that my AI was able to extract out of that video and organize it in a way to where it's almost like a companion to the video. It's like a study guide to the video. And I'm going to kind of show you guys what I'm talking about here in a minute. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing with that. But then I got other little small products I'm creating. Like I got one called The Art of the Flip, where in that one we're breaking down, just teaching people how to go out here and make money flipping things. Now, inside of SHTF, I do have a training in there on the same concept, but in the Art of the Flip, we go a little bit more deeper in there. And then in the Art of Flip, I also have a course that shows you how to go out and make money by working with all kind of businesses in your area to identify what we call hidden or undervalued assets, old refrigerators, old stoves, old office furniture, old supplies that they're sitting on and they want to get rid of. And then we show you how to make money by being what we call a finder, going out and locating a buyer for that or a resource or a source for something that they need to buy. Put yourself in the middle and you make money off that transaction. We show you how to do all that in there. So with my small publishing company, that's what I'm doing. So now I have Avatar Pop Studios, which I'm taking and turning it into a training company, right? And that's going to be all automated when I'm done. Okay. Then we have the Art of the Flip, which is another product that I'm doing. All right. And then we have SHTF Ops product resource community that I'm doing. Now, this is the thing with my publishing company, I have a ton of courses I've created over the last year that I'm out there marketing one way, one form or the other that I'm taking and I'm putting into the same format. So let me give you examples. Like I have some courses I created around creating content and monetizing your content. So those courses will go into a more niche-based resource. So it'll be another school group, another community where that course or those courses will be made available, and then I will market those courses in that community as a smaller product. I'm doing it with several different things. So when I'm done, I'm going to have a portfolio of these products out there. Course plus community plus resource center, and they'll be around all these different subjects and niches that I'm doing. And that's my way of trying to be free, guys, because I'm just going to show you the economics, and this is called what we call micro continuity. And I have a course out there about that too that we're going to. But basically, what micro continuity is where you go out and you do something like I'm doing. You set up a small publishing company, and then you create a product that you charge a small subscription from $5, $10, $15, $20 a month, and you provide a lot of value for that because, like in my case, my only cost when it comes to financially is just the cost of the software that I'm using, right, to host the content in the community, which, as of we talk right now, is only $10 through school, all right, which is one of the top platforms for communities and training. So I could do it for $10, right? And so my next cost is just my time. I've built up a very, very powerful AI tool that gets in and helps me build these trainings and these courses, not based off of my expertise, but the expertise of the AI and the resources that we are researching and pulling data from. And we got this down to a system, right? And so my whole goal is to create a portfolio of these different types of communities and products, right? And people pay me a little bit per month, and they get access to all that training and all that resources, and they didn't have to go out and do any of it. And it makes sense to me because I don't have to make a lot of money off of one person. Let me kind of give you guys an example. So let's say, for instance, like SHTF Ops. All right, I'm almost done with that. As far as with the initial of it, and I will probably be done with it today. I still got to create a opt-in page, a marketing funnel for it. And then I got a few other things I need to do in there. But for the most part, the content that we're creating for the initial $10 is already done. I am in the process of adding access to a lot of PDF publications and ebooks that go along with that. But that's not even needed right now, to be honest with you. What we have in there already is worth the $10 for the first month and stuff. All right. But let's say, for instance, I release this and then I'm going to be promoting SHTF Ops live on TikTok. So I'm going to be going live every day on TikTok talking about preparation, survival, different things like that, and how we need to learn and get prepared for that. Now, the cool thing about the SHTF Ops community is that we got it set up to not just be information, but it's a 90-day program, right? So when you first get in, what you're doing is you're going to go to a certain section. We're going to give you a blueprint that you can do in your first 24 hours to put together you a bag. Some people call them bug out bags. Some people call them get out bags, whatever you want to call it, right? But it's in case you have to either leave in a hurry or it could be a get home bag if you're somewhere and you're trying to make it back to home base, right? But we give you a list of things and we walk you through a process of getting this bag set up in your first 24 hours of accessing the community. Then at that particular point, now you have a bag that will help you live and last for 72 hours if something was to happen. All right. But then where we go outside of that, we have a 90-day program. And we break it down step by step and we show you what you do over your first 90 days to go from a person that's not prepared to having things set up and prepared for you and your family, which is really, really cool. Okay. And we do that. All right. But then also, I had my AI look into several different training modules or several different training programs. And one of them was the Navy SEALs. And so what I told him was I wanted to create a training program that anybody can do, and it can get them in tip top shape. We're talking about in good physical shape, all right, within 90 days. And so we created a hybrid training fitness program that leverages body weight exercise. So we talk about calisthenics, push-ups, sit-ups, burpees, things like that. And then we mixed a supporting training program to it that deals with weights. And you do that on top of the one that we're talking about. And in 90 days, man, based off of the data, we should be buffed. We should be in shape. And that's something that I'm doing, guys. I'm in the process of losing weight. I'm down almost, gotta look again. I think I'm down almost like 12 pounds now, 13 pounds. Um, and this is something I've been dealing with yo-yo. And so one of the things I did was I knew what I wanted to do. And I went to Vic, my AI assistant. I said, okay, this is the type of training I want to create for myself. And again, the way I do things is once we create it for myself, I'm making it available to you guys. So we have that in there also too. And so yeah. So basically, so by doing business like I'm doing, this gives me the ability to position myself to be free and to stay free from a job because I've learned how to create products and services that I could take to the marketplace and make money off of, and I can stay free out here in the world, right? And then the other thing is that now with focusing on SHTF Ops as my dominant brand or the dominant business that I want to focus on right now, it really gives me a loop, man, because now I am focusing on home, getting things together in the house, um, learning and putting together systems that's going to allow us to thrive. Such like we tried to do the whole gardening thing for the last couple of summers, and this year was crazy. It was bad, but I have the information and knowledge now. All right, to get in and learn and do it the right way, based off of the product that I'm putting together, which is the community for preparedness. One of the things I had to do was go in and research a lot of this around food, growing your own food and stuff. So I have really good frameworks and instructions now on how to do this. It's a lot of things that I'm gonna be able to do in my personal life while actually running SHTF ops and sharing that content with the world and sharing the things with the world. All right. And so as a byproduct, now I'm able to get free from dependency on the grid because I can put things in place like solar, different alternative energy sources. So if something was to go south with that, we're not dependent on it. Same thing with water, same thing with food, and even with protection, man. When you think about it, a lot of times, we have access to firearms and things like that, but we still depend on the law enforcement protecting us, where law enforcement's job is not per se to do that, right? And so we have to learn how to protect ourselves, and so that means you have to learn what type of protection you want, whether it's a dog, alarms, firearms, or whatever. And then you got to learn how to use it, man. So, like me myself, one of the things I'm doing is as I'm creating all these different frameworks and stuff, I'm telling myself, okay, I need to step up my game when it comes to dealing with my firearms, man. I need to get very proficient at it. And so, as I'm building out everything for SHTF ops, again, a lot of it I'm building out and thinking about is from my perspective. And so, I'm gonna be able to benefit from it. But yeah, so hopefully you guys are getting something from this, man. I'm I'm totally for freedom, man. I'm totally for having the ability to just be free in the world. And I don't mean being kooky, man. I don't mean being weird with it. I like the whole, and that's something, man. And I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm so happy with where the world is at because I feel that I can be me in the current world. You know, like right now, man, I'm really off into this whole preparation thing. So, I'm loving rocking, what I'm rocking, and just being the man that I am. And so, like, I picked up a pickup. So I got this pickup truck now where I've always driven cars and always wanted a pickup, man, but didn't want to spend the money on it. And so I just waited, waited, waited. And when I was ready to buy one, man, I went out and I did what ended up being a wise move. I knew what I wanted, went out and found me a dealer that was just looking to make profit off of it. He wasn't trying to make a fortune off of it. And I was able to pick up me a nice F-150 XLT four-wheel drive pickup for a really, really good price. And so now I'm rocking the pickup, man. I'm into getting into my guns and stuff. I always love camping, right? But now I'm so excited because now I'm fit to start spending more time out camping, so I can test out a lot of things that we're going to be learning inside of SHTF Ops. You guys know I love the whole freedom thing of being an entrepreneur. And think about this, guys. Think about how cool this is. Like right now, with the way that I'm running, um, I can market and get 500 members to SHTF Ops at $10 a piece and this would be a super successful business. And 500 members ain't a lot, guys. I'm part of a lot of communities where you wouldn't even think they would have a lot of people. They got 2,000, 3,000 people. They started off about, when I joined them, with a couple hundred and worked their way up. I know how to do that. I know how to promote it. I know how to run the ads. I know how to do the lives on that. I'm gonna be able to take a lot of the training that we're putting out there about how to market your content. I'm gonna be able to do this to market this because I think this right here is very marketable. And I think a lot of people right now are looking at the world and saying, okay, things aren't right. And there is something that's going to end up giving down the road. Let's keep it like that. And they're going to be telling themselves, I want to be prepared. I want to be able to have a chance for my family to be protected and to survive and thrive. And so a lot of people are waking up to the fact that they need to start learning things and prepared and things like that. So I think as a business model, SHTF ops is right on target. And so, yeah, I think that this is going to be good. And my whole thing that I would love to do, to be keep it real with you guys, I would love to just focus on this business, man, and that's what I'm working towards. I have some different components that I'm doing with this. So like this video, this what you're watching right now, this show is going to end up being a show. All right, so we're going to talk about a theme, podcast interest. It's going to end up being a podcast, and it's going to be for the everyday beginner prepper. All right, it's going to end up being a podcast. I have physical goods that I'm going to be selling. Like you guys know that I had a company called Trade Hippo LLC, which I still have, where I used to buy and sell vintage apparel and stuff. And then later on, I got into the TikTok Shop affiliate program, where I'm an affiliate now. So now one of the cool things about running SHTF Ops is that now I get to sell the equipment and the physical goods, because everything that I'm pretty much acquiring and using as preps for my family, I'm buying it through the TikTok shop. And so now when I buy this stuff, I can also turn around and promote it and make a commission off of promoting. And that's really, really cool. That's what I love about this. The other thing is that later on, I'm gonna have some more. I'm gonna have upsells inside the community where people have the option of paying a little bit more to do and to learn more. And I think a lot of things that I was working on outside of SHTF that teaches you about how to make money with your content and things like that. I think a lot of this stuff I'm gonna end up adding to the back of there. I'm gonna have like I don't know, it's gonna be more like a financial section back there, where when you go back there, one of the categories gonna be is learn how to make money. And I think from a just from a grassroots level, one of the business models I'm gonna be teaching back there, because it's one that I've done, it's one that I'm doing now, and that's flipping. Finding things that you can buy for a certain price and turn around and flip it, whether it's a small flip where you buy something for 10, you flip it for 20, or if it's a big flip, something you buy for 500, 1,000, a car or something like that, and flip. I think that flipping is one of the simplest business models for those who are looking to launch something on the side that they can own and control as far as income. I believe it's something that can be scaled as big as you want it. And it's something that you can do without having to talk to people and really know how to market. And so I think that that's going to be cool and exciting. I think, as a matter of fact, even when I get off this video, I'm going to go ahead and add the order of the flip, both of the trainings, to the SHTF website under this section that I'm talking about. And I don't know what I'm gonna call it. Get your money or something like that, or fund your freedom. But in that section, that's where I'm going to put that information, because I have a course over there right now that teaches that. But these two courses that I built for the order to flip, I think will work even better over in SHTF Ops, because what I'm trying to communicate here as far as a mission is to get you free. All right, to get you free and get you prepared. Okay, so let me walk you through, guys, and show you what we got so far inside the community. All right, give me a minute. I'm gonna get pulled in here, and I'm gonna show you both of these products, and so you can see what I'm talking about when I'm talking about adding them. All right. All right, so let's go here. All right, so you guys should be looking at the SHTF community. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is basically this section here, like I told you guys, this is gonna be the general timeline. This is gonna be where all the general discussions, like when you go in something like Reddit or even on Facebook, you have a timeline. That's what you can see this as. So as I add new content or the members add new content, it'll go here. And then basically the way it works is you click on it, you're able to read the content, and then you can like it or you can comment on it. All right. And so then your discussions happen here. All right. But then up here also, you have the calendars. All right. So as we get going, like one of the things that we can do, let me see, it's trying to make me create my own session. Give me a minute, guys. One of the things that we can do inside of the community is that we can set up events, and you can go live with Zoom in there, and so that's going to be really cool. So we're going to be doing some live Zooms and stuff where we're going to do some get-togethers and things like that. And basically, what I'm trying to build here is a hangout place for those who are out there who are interested in getting free out there, but then also getting prepared for unforeseen disruptions in the way we live. And this will be a place where you can come and just hang out at. We can talk and chat via text, and then we can jump on video and text. And this is where you do it here. So like if you click go live here, my window was blocked. Should have a pop-up blocker on. All right, but you guys see if you guys are still seeing what I'm seeing. All right, but this is where I would go live at. All right, just to give you an idea of that. So we're gonna come out of here and go back. Okay, so you guys should be back looking at my screen. But yeah, so anyway, we're gonna be able to go live and things like that. So we got that coming. All right, but then here's the classroom section. Okay, now here's the classroom section. This is where I'm putting all the training. So remember I was telling you guys about I have that 24-hour plan to get that first bug out bag done in your first 24 hours. That's what this is here. So if you come here, why preparedness, we talk about just why we need to prepare. Okay. And then SHTF ops, rapid readiness. And this is where you're going to go through this real quick training here and this checklist, and we're going to show you how to put together your get home bag or your bug out bag, which one you're doing. All right, but we show you how to use things around your house and how to go buy things very inexpensive, get this done in your first 24 hours. So that way you have something in place. But then when you come over here, you remember I was telling you that we have the 90-day, we call it Core 90, okay? And this is a 90-day plan for you to ramp up and get your home prepared, get you prepared, get everything that you need. And we do this so first of all, it's not overwhelming to you. But second of all, for the cost, you'll be able to spread the cost across different months. Okay. But once you get done going through this 90 days, man, you're going to be set up. Your family's going to be set up with what y'all need to be prepared if something happens. Now, it might not be the final version of your setup, but you're going to be really, really set up at home, water, electricity, all that kind of stuff. You're going to be able to deal with all that. All right. And that's what this is here. Okay. All right. And then over here, this is the course that I did. And this is where we're going to add the other courses from the order to flip to. But basically, what I'm doing here, I'm talking to you guys about how to create side hustles and start generating income that you could follow or fund your survival preps and just getting things prepared. All right. And I break down that whole game here and show you why all this makes sense. And we talk about the whole thing of buying and selling and flipping and stuff like that. And then we also provide you with bonus modules here. And this is one of the things here. We talk about how the skills you're learning from buying and selling and flipping are going to be skills that you're going to need inside of a world after things then really hit the fan. And so we show you how those skills are going to be transferable, but we show you how to create what we call a trade bag, a bug out trade bag, where you can carry around things that you can barter or trade, all right, in that type of environment and world. So we break that down to you, okay? And then over here in the 30-day challenge, we just give you a clear-cut 30-day plan of how to get out here and how to implement and take action on what you learned in the course. All right, so that's that one there. Now let me show you guys. This is the other courses I'm gonna be adding here. So here's my the art of the flip one that I'm doing. Now go to the classroom. So I have this full course here that I did it called Drive It, Flip It, Profit. All right, so I'm gonna take this whole course here and I'm gonna add that to SHTF Ops. Okay, but then I have another course that I did down here that teaches, like the first one teaches you how to flip cars, how to go in and flip used cars, how to buy them and how to flip them. and how to make a profit every year off of selling a couple cars. And in our case of what we're doing, you can take that money now and you can apply that to investments, or you can apply that to prepping. So I'm gonna add this here. All right, but then we get in and we talk about how to flip other things. All right, such as watches, different things like that, gold and silver and stuff like that. Right, and I think that this would be good to add to SHTF ops. But now here I go in and we're teaching you how to flip information. All right, kind of like what I'm doing here with my groups and my trainings and stuff. But we focus on showing you how to resell information. Okay, so we're going to be adding that one there, and then we have another one here, which is Dealmaker Academy, which is this huge course that I'm doing. I went in and bought the rights to a course, and we took that course and what we were able to research and put together. And we created a really good course that we're putting together that's going to teach you how to go out here and how to do what I was telling you to do, how to make money in your local community, putting deals together. All right. Yep, which is really, really cool. Okay. Now I'm gonna add this course to the SHTF ops too. All right, because I wanna put in here as much as I can for you guys to get prepared and stuff like that. All right, so we're gonna add that to here. Okay. Now here's another cool thing. So you're gonna get almost 4 or 5 courses inside just in the marketplace. All right. Now this is where I was telling you about. We put together the training. Just want to show you how to get in shape. All right, using calisthenics, weights, and a different regiment there. And that's what this whole breakdown here. And then we added this last component, which incorporates weights. So what you do is you take 3 days, like you work out 5 days doing phase 1 and phase 2 of these WODs. Okay. And then when you, if you want to incorporate weights, you take 3 of those 5 days and you add a weightlifting regiment to it also too. So you do it back to back, like you'll do like this whatever this body weight workout is for the day, which is usually 3 rounds of a certain what we call a WOD. All right, so like if you was doing this right here, day 1 grind to strength, 3 rounds, rest 1 minute. You're gonna do 20 push-ups, 25 air squats, 20 sit-ups, 10 burpees, and you're gonna do that 3 times. All right, that's that workout. Now, if you were lifting weights that day, then you would do that, rest a little bit, and then you would come back and do the workouts that we give you here with the weights. And the way that I got this set up is that I wanted it to be a full body workout. All right, so you're not doing any split sets, you're doing a full body. All right, so the workouts you're going to do here is going to take you through the whole full body workout, and that's going to get you in optimum shape, man. So you're going to be in the best shape by doing what I'm showing you here. So we got that. We got that here. So that's the whole training there, guys. So you can see, can you guys see how way overvalued this is? I'm only charging you guys $10 to get access to all this here. All right, which is crazy. All right, so we have a course that we created called the Bitcoin Prepper Playbook, and pretty much we're just breaking down how anybody can start putting money into Bitcoin. And guys, we're not financial advisors. Go do your research, but we show you how Bitcoin is perfect for the world we live in, and it's also a good store of value if in case some things hit the fan. Now, one of the things that I did was inside of the other course over in the marketplace, we talked about buying hard assets such as silver and gold, and I think what I'm gonna end up doing is adding those parts of the training over here as bonuses, so you can see them here or referencing for you to go read it at the other one. All right, because that's one of the things I want you guys to understand, that by working with gold, silver, and Bitcoin, you give yourself the best chance of being able to have a chance at at monetary success if everything we know went south. All right, if everything was to go south, you still could thrive out here. All right, you could thrive out here. You could take what you learned in our flipping courses, and you could be securing things that you're flipping, that you're trading on. You could be moving Bitcoin around. You can do gold, silver, but you can make money out here with these skills that we give you. But I got a whole course, walking you through and showing you how to get started with Bitcoin and what you need to start doing with that. All right, which is really good. Now, here's another section that we're putting together. I'm working on this right now, and I'm really excited about this section because, I'm just a beginner prepping, guys. I'm not an expert by as far as I'm just a beginner. And as I was doing my research, the cool thing is that there's other people out here that has been doing this for years, and all this data and training is out there. Because when you even think about it, my AI, Vic, he knows all this stuff because when they train the AI, they train them on all this kind of stuff. But now you take my AI and then we go over to a specific expert, and we are able to get content from this expert and mix it together. We come out with something really, really cool. So here is a video that I found on YouTube where this guy really, really breaks down the process of water and what is what when it comes to storing water and having water if stuff hit the fan, right? And so the video is 45 minutes, 48 minutes long. The guy goes through a lot. You're going to be able to watch the video here. But then what we did was I took my AI and we pulled the transcript. And so my AI was able to go through and actually summarize this with core points and different things like that. So we created this additional resource that goes along with the video. All right. But then you see that right there. That's all that. But then I had my AI look at it and extract the data where in the video the guy was talking about your different options with containers. And we took that and we broke that down into usable content, all right, for you to be able to use. So you can go over here and look at all the different storage solutions he was talking about, and we give you all the details. We give you the pros, the cons, all that, and we tell you what's best for. So now when you're looking at this information, this is like a whole course here in itself, just right here. Now we're going to be doing this with different videos, and we're going to be doing that with, like, here's one on the bug out myth, and go through and we talk to you guys about the theory of bugging out and what you have to know about this before you do that, right? And then, like, here I have stuff on nuclear. So here's do it yourself fallout shelters, and so we got information there. And so, guys, we're going to be adding a ton of information under this section here from some of the best content creators out there in the preparedness world. And then we're going to have a resource center, guys, where we're going to have just different resources and stuff like that, different blogs, podcasts, software, things like that for you guys to go to. And again, you're not going to have to worry about going out there and finding it. I'm doing all the work for you, so I'll be finding it for you. So, guys, I'm excited. So, yeah, let me show you one other thing. Let me pull it up. So now, remember, I was talking about that you guys are going to be able to download and get access to a lot of PDFs. So one of the things I've been doing, man, I've went out, I purchased, I've collected a ton of downloads. Now all these ebooks and stuff that I have are all copyright free. They can be transferred, sold, all that kind of stuff. But we have all the Army Marine manuals that cover a lot of things that you guys are going to be able to, it's going to be a page in there. You're going to be able to click on whatever manual you want to get, and then it's going to open up to a Google Drive, and then you guys will be able to download the manual. Okay, so we're going to do all that for you. So now you guys who want to get out there and really want to start getting more in depth and studying, and these manuals are good, man. I'm going to show you this one here. So you walk through, they're very detailed. Most of them come with very good illustrations where they walk you through. And there are a ton of out here that our government has created for our military and stuff. And so you guys at SHTF Ops, you're going to get access to all these all in one place. All right, so you'll be able to come in, grab these. You can read them on your smartphone, on your tablets, laptops, things like that. But what I like about this is, I mean, you can print it out. All right, you can print them out and have them as a hard document. Now that makes sense on a lot of different ways. I'm gonna tell you why. Because if things were to hit the fan and electricity was down, and you're gonna need hard copies of this. So you might as well print them out and bind them. I bought me this little this little binding machine where I can put the little plastic circle binding on it. But yeah, look at this, man. It's just one book. This is just one here that I'm showing you guys. We have a lot of good manuals that you guys are going to be able to download. Now, another cool thing is inside the community, I give you a resource that you can go to, and you can buy this app, right? And this app has all the manuals included in the app, and they're laid out good in there to where you can read them on mobile, and it's very inexpensive, $5, and you get three apps. One is on all the military manuals, one is on first aid, and one is on edible plants and things like that, and poisonous plants, because you need to know all that if you're trying to eat off the land. But you can carry it in your pocket on your cell phone. It doesn't need to be connected to the internet. It doesn't need to have cell activity. Now, one of the things I also going to be showing you guys is a strategy I'm using to be able to have everything that I need run off of solar. So if the electricity goes down, but then I'm showing you guys how I'm using Faraday bags to put all my electronics in. So like I have SHTF electronic devices, extra laptop, extra cell phone, battery packs, all this that I have duplicates of, right? And all these be going in Faraday bags, which are bags that are set up to be able to protect them from an EMP, right? So if something was to hit the fan and we get attacked with an EMP or a solar flare that does it, my electronics are not fried, right? And I'm able to pull them out, and I'm able to access documents, videos, audio, everything that I got stored on these hard drives and these thumb drives. But then I also have cell phones that I set up to be my survival phones, and they will be put in the bags with all the information on them also too. And so I'm gonna be teaching you guys all this inside of here. But that's one thing you can do with these manuals. So like with me, I went out and bought the binding machine because I'm gonna print the manuals out, and I'm gonna have them all here in my home, so that way I can read them in physical format. But I'm also gonna have them digitally, so they're gonna also exist on my computer and also on my tablets, but then also on the devices that I'm storing away in the EMP in the Faraday bags. And that's what we're gonna. And that's the cool thing about this. So you guys are gonna get access to all these manuals that I found, and yeah, and you're gonna be able to come here. Now, here's the last thing, and then I'm gonna get off here. Okay, here's the last thing. All right, so here is the manual again. So this is just a sample of one of the ebooks that I have that's put out, and these are military ebooks that are free for you guys to download and stuff. But the hard thing is usually finding all these things, man, in one place, and that's what we did for you. So we went out and found them all in one place for you guys, so you don't have to worry about that. You'll just be able to go to the community and go to that part of the classroom, and you'll be able to just download these, and then you can start studying and things like that. All right, super super cool, super cool. Now, another thing we're going to be doing in the community, guys, is, and this is again why I'm trying to create this, because I want to create a safe, private place for you guys to be able to teach and talk. So, in order to keep a lot of stuff down, we won't be talking about politics or religion inside the group at all. The only thing we're going to talk about is being free, getting free, and preparedness. Now, we will talk about current events, but we're not going to talk about, well, that's so and so Republican or that's so and so Democrat. We're not going to do that. We just going to talk about what's going on, what that means, and what we need to do to prepare for it. But then the other thing we're going to do is we're going to just hold each other accountable. Man, we're going to hold each other accountable, and you're going to be able to have a place where you're going to be able to go and share what it is that you're doing and get feedback from your fellow members of the community. All right, so super excited. Now, last but not least, guys, remember I talked to you guys about making a little money. Well, the membership is going to be $10 to get access to it. But I'm also putting in place an affiliate program. So as soon as you sign up, you're going to have a link available to you that you can talk about certain things and you can promote the group. And anybody signs up, you're going to make 50% commission. Might not sound like a lot. You may be like, oh, this is only $5. But let's say, for instance, you start off getting yourself prepared. You're sharing this with your timeline, that you got a new side hustle that you're doing, that you're flipping furniture. All right, you're taking that money from that furniture and you're investing in prepping for your family. All right, being prepared. So you're talking about that on your thing, and your people on your social media, they're getting interested, right? And you share with them the link to the group. Say, hey guys, if you want to get access to the information that I'm using and the resources and stuff, just go over to the group. And let's say, for instance, you do that for the first 12 months. So in 12 months, man, you done radically changed your life because now you went from a beginner to somebody that's seasoned, prepped. You've built out your systems. You got your storage. You know, went out in the woods. You done practiced in your yard. You learned how to do a lot of things. And you look up. But let's say, for instance, you referred 100 people to the group. All right, you referred 100 people to the group. Now, on the minimum, that's a $5 commission every month off those 100 people. So now you're making $500 a month. All right. Now you're making $500 a month in recurring income from just talking and sharing the group. Now you could take that 500 a month and you can use that to either recapture what you've already invested into your equipment and all your preps and supplies up to that point. Or you could take that 500 a month and use it to launch another business, to buy some Bitcoin, to invest in gold or silver, or to invest in more preps. All right, 500 a month to get you a piece of land. I mean, if you look at it, you get some raw land out somewhere where you have to put like a couple thousand down, and it costs you a couple hundred a month. That 500 a month could pay for that. All right. But now the cool thing about the group is that I'm gonna have later on. I'm gonna have what we call upsells, more expensive things that people could buy inside the group. And the cool thing for you being an affiliate, if you were to refer somebody and they're just a regular member and they upgrade to one of my upsells there, you're going to get paid off that. You'll make money off that. All right. So if I have like $100 training that I put in there, and they purchase it, you get paid 50% commission off that. So that's really, really cool. So I'm excited, guys. SHTF OPS, looking to launch here soon, like in the next day or so. We're going to get this thing rocking. As I showed you guys, I got a lot of the basic stuff already added. Today, I'm going to be adding some of the manuals. We're going to probably get you guys started with probably about a good 10 manuals, and then I'll just be adding those as we go. And I got some more content over in the articles with the YouTube videos that I want to add. And then we're gonna be rocking and rolling, man. Ready to roll. All right, Orville J. Parker, aka Coach, guys. If you like this, make sure you like the video. Give me feedback. Give me content, guys. This is a beautiful thing. $10 a month. You guys are gonna be able to jump in here, start learning, take the challenges, get yourself together, get yourself in shape, and also learn how to make some money inside of a business that you own and control that you can use to be able to help your family get free from dependence and to also be ready for something to hit the fan. All right, I'll catch you guys on the next video. God bless.